don't tread on me. Those are words that I stand by, homie. It doesn't mean I'm gangster, it doesn't mean I'm country. It means that my life is in my hands only. I don't have money for security, I don't have armed guards that I keep snug around me. You don't think I deserve protection like you do, and that means you don't give a fuck about me.
Have you ever pondered what the SAFE-T Act really means for the residents of Illinois? That's what we're going to discuss today. The Safety, Accountability, Fairness, and Equity Today Act, or better known as the SAFE-T Act, is a hot topic in the Prairie State right now. But why is it so? Well, the SAFE-T Act is a comprehensive criminal justice reform bill passed in Illinois. It aims to alter the landscape of policing, pretrial detention, sentencing, and prison conditions. Its purpose? To create a more equitable and fair justice system. In today's video, we'll be dissecting the SAFE-T Act, examining both its merits and potential drawbacks. We'll be discussing how it could bring about positive change, its implications for law enforcement, and the potential effects on public safety. First, we'll explore the benefits of the SAFE-T Act. We'll talk about how it aims to increase transparency within law enforcement, reduce racial disparities in sentencing, and combat systemic racism. It's a law that carries a lot of promise for those who have long desired a more equitable justice system. But like any significant change, the SAFE-T Act has its critics. In the second part of our video, we'll dive into the concerns raised by these critics. You'll hear about fears of rising crime rates, potential impacts on law enforcement resources, and questions about the Act's effectiveness in achieving its stated goals. Finally, we'll wrap up by discussing the broader impact of the SAFE-T Act. What could it mean for the residents of Illinois? How might it shape the future of criminal justice reform across the United States? These are big questions, but they're worth asking. As we delve deeper into this topic, keep an open mind and consider the various perspectives. The SAFE-T Act is a complex piece of legislation with far-reaching implications. It's not a simple matter of good or bad, but a nuanced conversation about justice, fairness, and safety. So let's dive in, shall we? Imagine a world where everyone feels safe, respected, and protected by the law. This is the vision that the SAFE-T Act aims to achieve. The SAFE-T Act, or the Safety, Accountability, Fairness, and Equity Today Act, is a legislation that's been making waves across Illinois. It's a comprehensive package designed to reshape criminal justice and policing in the state, and it promises to bring about significant changes that could benefit everyone. For starters, the SAFE-T Act puts a strong emphasis on police accountability. It introduces robust reporting requirements for police departments and mandates body cameras for all officers, which will help ensure that every interaction between the police and the public is recorded. This can be a powerful tool for holding officers accountable for their actions, and it could lead to a reduction in instances of police misconduct. The act also includes measures aimed at reforming the criminal justice system. It eliminates cash bail, making it possible for individuals to be released from custody while awaiting trial, regardless of their financial situation. This is a significant step towards a fairer justice system, where one's financial status doesn't determine their freedom. In addition, the SAFE-T Act promotes increased transparency. It requires that police disciplinary records be made public, allowing for greater scrutiny of law enforcement practices. This could help identify patterns of misconduct and lead to more effective interventions. Furthermore, the Act provides for increased funding for mental health and substance abuse treatment programs. This means that instead of criminalizing people struggling with these issues, we'll be providing them with the help they need to get better. And lastly, the Act takes aim at systemic racism, with provisions intended to address racial disparities in law enforcement and the justice system. It's an important step towards creating a more equitable Illinois. With these points in mind, it's clear that the SAFE-T Act has the potential to bring about significant positive change. However, like all pieces of legislation, the SAFE-T Act has its critics and potential downsides. Critics of the SAFE-T Act worry that it could have unintended consequences. One of these concerns revolves around the morale of law enforcement. Officers may feel their ability to effectively do their jobs is being undermined by the new regulations and requirements. This could lead to a decrease in job satisfaction or even an increase in resignations. For instance, in a small town like Springfield, if just a handful of officers decide to hang up their badges, the impact on the community could be substantial. Another concern is that the SAFE-T Act might inadvertently lead to an increase in crime. By placing additional restrictions on law enforcement, some worry that criminals may feel emboldened, believing that the chances of being caught or facing serious consequences have lessened. Imagine the bustling streets of Chicago under such a scenario, where a rise in crime rates could have dire consequences for the safety of its residents. Then there's the financial cost of implementing the SAFE-T Act. New training programs, additional administration, and potential lawsuits arising from the Act's enforcement could burden the state's economy. This could lead to higher taxes or cuts in other public services. To put it in perspective, it's like taking a slice from an already lean budget to fund these new initiatives, while other critical services might be left wanting. Furthermore, the Act's focus on community-based solutions, while admirable, may not be feasible in all areas. Rural communities or economically disadvantaged areas may lack the resources to effectively implement such programs. Think of a place like Peoria, where such resources might be scarce, and the potential for success could be limited. Finally, there's the potential for a backlash from citizens who feel the act goes too far in its reforms, leading to a divide among the populace. It's akin to stirring a pot of differing opinions, which could lead to tension and discord. These concerns raise questions about the long-term viability and effectiveness of the SAFE-T Act. So what does this all mean for the people of Illinois? Taking a closer look at the SAFE-T Act, it becomes clear that this law is not just a piece of paper. It's a catalyst for change, a force that will ripple through every corner of the state. Each group within Illinois, from law enforcement to communities and individuals, will feel its impact. Picture law enforcement. The SAFE-T Act is poised to change the way they operate, introducing new protocols and procedures. It's a shift towards more accountability, a move that is expected to rebuild trust between the police and the communities they serve. However, these changes come with their challenges. Officers will have to adapt to new ways of doing things, and there's always the potential for growing pains. Now, let's consider communities, particularly those that have been disproportionately affected by crime and the justice system. The SAFE-T Act promises a more equitable approach to law enforcement, one that respects human rights and values every life. It's a hopeful vision, but it's not without its hurdles. The implementation of these changes will require cooperation from all parties involved, and that's easier said than done. As for individuals, the SAFE-T Act could mean a lot of things. For some, it represents hope for a fair justice system. For others, it might bring up concerns about safety and crime rates. And there's no denying that these are valid concerns. The SAFE-T Act is a step into the unknown, and it's only natural to wonder what lies ahead. But here's the thing, change is rarely easy, and it's almost never straightforward. The SAFE-T Act is no exception. It's a bold move, a leap of faith towards a future that's fairer and more just. It's a journey that we'll all take together, and it's one that will require ongoing discussion, review, and adjustment. We're standing at the cusp of a new era, and the road ahead is uncharted, but one thing's for sure. The impact of the SAFE-T Act will undoubtedly be felt by all for better or worse. The SAFE-T Act is a complex piece of legislation with potential for both positive and negative impacts. As we've navigated through the intricate labyrinth of this act, we've uncovered numerous crucial points that weigh heavily in our understanding of its potential implications. On one side of the coin, we've seen how the SAFE-T Act can be a beacon of hope for those who have long yearned for a more equitable justice system. It has the potential to bring about significant changes in policing, bail reform, and accountability, offering a new dawn for those who have previously felt marginalized. Yet, on the flip side, we must also acknowledge the concerns that have been raised. There are voices that fear the SAFE-T Act could inadvertently lead to an uptick in crime rates or strain law enforcement resources. These potential drawbacks beg us to question if the Act's overall impact will be beneficial or detrimental in the long run. This is not a black and white issue, it's a multifaceted situation, a kaleidoscope of perspectives that needs to be viewed from all angles. The SAFE-T Act, like any legislative measure, is a balancing act, a tightrope walk between addressing societal needs and managing resources effectively. And so we find ourselves at a crossroads. We've dissected the SAFE-T Act, unraveled its complexities, and laid bare its potential implications. But the conversation doesn't end here, it's only just beginning. This is where you come in, dear listener. It's your turn to add your voice to the mix, to bring your unique perspective to the table. Whether you're in favor of the act or against it, whether you're unsure or have a clear stance, your thoughts and insights, are invaluable. So let's keep this discussion going. Let's dive deeper into the nuances, challenge our preconceptions, and strive to understand each other's viewpoints. After all, it's through dialogue that we grow, that we learn, and that we shape our collective future. What are your thoughts on the SAFE-T Act? We encourage you to continue the discussion in the comments below. Remember, your voice matters in shaping the future of Illinois.